You better have seasoning, aye. Girl, the way that you look, man, I know it ain't no easy thing, aye. My sauce and my mix and blend, we are seasoning.
Welcome back to All Purpose Seasoning. I go by the name of Miles. These are my co-hosts, and what I want to talk about today is, or what I asked today is, who sets the parameters for success?
I think success, you can set your own. I can break down success to simple things as just like achieving something you've set out to do. Okay. If you set to do one thing and achieve it, you're successful. So you should set your own parameters.
I think you should set your own, but I think society, school, parents, they'll kind of dictate which direction you're going in for a while until you get to a point where you're like, let me stand on my own and this is what I feel.
I'll tell you,
but only if you allow them to.
It came from. So I kind of had a conversation with a family member I haven't spoken to for ages, and they were like, hope you're doing well, I hope you're making a success of yourself. And obviously it wasn't said in any manner, but I took that as, like, what does that mean? Yeah. I hope you're making a success of yourself. Does that mean I have a family? Does that mean that I've got loads of money? Does that mean that I'm healthy? What does that mean?
So this was going to be my question. What is success?
Yeah.
Exactly. Or is there, I mean, again, we could look on our phones and Google and find success to be dictated by Wikipedia or whatever as X, Y, and Z, but then does that make our definition of success void?
I think that it doesn't. I think there's a few different angles, and like you said, I don't think we can go off just a standard example of success, because it depends what you're applying it to. A successful family, a successful relationship, a successful job, a successful career, a successful. It couldn't even be that. It could just be so much as, has this been a successful week for me? Have I betted last week?
Do you think success? I say this in jest, but do you think success only exists because there is something to compare it to?
Nah, bruv. Listen.
So like you said about, if you set yourself a goal of, I want to sleep 8 hours a day, for example, for a week, and you do that, you're successful in doing that because you set it, right?
Regardless, like people give like society and other people too much power and too much of their energy. Like forgetting that you set your rules for your life. Yes, there are a lot of guidelines and a lot of
100
flipping, I don't know what to call it, influences, but there's a lot of social structure that you didn't even create it. So you're not you, but people are living to a structure that they don't even create and accepting it. So for people to start thinking that they're measuring their success based on society, you've given society too much energy.
1,000,000%.
I agree. So you can, I believe, you can break down success in its simplest form. To me, is set something and achieve it. You are successful in whatever it is. Yeah. If you want to wake up and make your
success, or are you successful?
You're successful
in that thing.
You measure your own success based on what you set yourself to achieve, I believe.
So let's do that then. Rather than get the Google whatever. Yeah. What do we think success is, Leo?
I don't think success for me is the same as what success is for you.
No, that's my point. That's what I'm doing. That's
what
I'm doing it. So I'm saying, if you were going to define it in a sentence or two, what would you define it as?
For me, success is I'm happy. Mm-hmm. I'm comfortable financially. Mm-hmm. I don't necessarily have to be rich, but I'm comfortable. I don't have to worry about no bills. My family are fine. My missus is good. My kids are good. Success also means I'm doing something that I have a passion for. Like, I'm not just working a job. Yeah. I'm working in something that actually means something to me and I want to do. I get up on a Monday and I don't think, fuck, man.
I got to do this again.
Yeah. I think, right, Monday. And I was thinking about what I'm going to do on Monday, on Sunday, and Saturday, and Friday night. Mm-hmm. That's what success is for me. Success is, for me personally, is based on an understanding of happiness in life.
Success a feeling for you, like feeling.
Success is a feeling, and it all, for me personally, it comes down to an understanding of what do I want for me, my family, legacy, and what I leave when I'm gone. Look, we get
one or two sentences.
No,
I'm joking.
Apologies, but
I'm joking.
We get insurance policies, right? To protect our families.
Yeah.
We'll get a life insurance, we'll get a redundancy insurance, all them sort of things. We'll make sure that everybody is set in a financial context anyway. If we ever go, for me, success is making sure that whoever it is that I leave behind, whoever it is that I'm here with now, has the best life possible. That's it.
Fair.
Mine kind of overlaps with what Leo's saying, and I'd say that success is, I can't pinpoint it to like just business or just family, so I just put it in a broader term. But it's the fact that when I wake up, I'm not waking up like Leo's thinking, oh, fuck. Like I'm waking up thinking, cool, let's go again. Mm-hmm. Cool, let's go. Like I'm not happy to go again. You know what I mean? Like you're waking up and you feel comfortable. Like I'm not, like Leo said, don't have to be a multi-millionaire.
You're not worried about.
Yeah, you just feel you're just very comfortable in the place you're in. I think that's success. But I also think off the back of what Leo said is that you should always be changing your success.
I was just about to ask. You said about feeling comfortable. So when you feel comfortable, content, do you not then want to kind of be more comfortable,
you should
more
be.
content?
Yeah, I think that's where the thing comes in terms of like set a goal, achieve it, reevaluate, go
like
again.
Jay was saying. Yeah,
definitely.
Like people put too much pressure on themselves when it comes to being successful. Like I said, break it down for yourself and for your life.
Yeah.
Because society will put so much pressure on you where you're comparing yourself to what you think you should be. If you've set a goal, we need to even keep it simple. When you wake up in the morning, that's a success. People went to bed last night and never woke up,
100%.
and you woke up this morning.
That's what you pray.
That's
Little things like that. You need to be able to acknowledge these little successes in life. So I believe not to let other people determine or dictate what is successful to you. If you can set yourself a goal, big or small, and achieve that goal, you have created a success 100%. In your life. And then that alone can then trigger you to go and set another goal or another milestone. And that's how I think we should measure our successes, is compare it to what you've said you want to achieve and how far are you from doing it or completing it.
And that's exactly how I would put it, as spiritual, mental and social. So social being your fitness and your health and whatever. If you can be better in those things than you were yesterday, last week, last month, last year, that to me is successful. And whatever you want to put into those different topics is up to you. But if you can be spiritually, mentally and socially advanced than you were before, that's a success.
But you know what? Playing devil's advocate, it's not something I'm saying I wholeheartedly feel, but just to change the narrative a bit, should we put a level on success so that people don't underachieve? Because like I said, like I can...
Over what? Say that again.
So we put a level of success on things that people don't underachieve. For example, like, I'm not saying this is a situation for anyone, but imagine if I come from my household where, say, we didn't have a lot. Say I've got a little bit, but I could achieve so much more. But because I got a little bit, I'm like, yo, this is a success. I'm better off than my parents were. But in reality, you could be somewhere over there, like way, way better off. But because that pressure's not on you to reach that level of success, you then... hold yourself back, but you stop at a certain point thinking, right, cool, this is all I need. But then
I'm good.
You're not thinking beyond yourself, or you're not thinking beyond that situation. And I think that sometimes that's where you need to not rely on society, because obviously we know most of it's bullshit, like in it. But I think sometimes when they say, like, like when you're at school and the whole thing is to go to school to get a good job, and obviously that doesn't define success, but it's a good goal to work towards, because that is going to lead on to other things in your life being good.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes
is that being content, or is that
being successful?
For real. Like, is success when is success in the eyes of whatever it is that we've achieved in any one spell of time enough? Because as humans, and that's
I
the
think
thing.
the goalpost always.
I don't think it should be.
But then there's content and then there's satisfaction.
But I think they're one and the same, personally. And the reason why I say that is because you can be content in what you have achieved, so you are therefore satisfied.
Okay, sorry. Let me remix that. There's content and then there's fulfilled, because you can.
I think contentment is a dangerous place to be, to be honest with you.
If you're not fulfilled, then you will keep going until you are fulfilled. So content could just mean in this moment in time.
I agree. I completely agree. Why do you think
contentment? I feel like if you're, what's the example I could give? If you say, for me to be successful, I need to hit 50 grand. So you hit 50 grand, and you stay on 50 grand for 45 years. maybe to you, that's to Adam, it might be okay, but then to Sarah, she's like, well, I've hit 50, so then why can't I hit 70 or 100 or 150? So I think contentment is dangerous because it potentially allows you, encourages you to think that you've reached your limit.
A limit,
but you shouldn't.
where
And obviously, I'm only using a salary
to be.
Say again.
A limit or where you're happy to be, because we don't, in essence.
And that's that depends on who you're asking.
It's just what you're happy, which is what being content is. So, for me personally, if I hit 100K,
you're content.
I don't know, but I'm ambitious. So
you'd want to go past that.
So no, I don't know. This is what I'm trying to say, because with an 100K job, what comes with that is potentially maybe you don't necessarily, your holidays aren't your holidays, and you have to answer a few emails here and there.
Oh, okay.
Or you take your work
change.
or you take your work on holiday, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I've worked with directors that are like that, and I'll send an email and to keep them involved. But they're in Aruba with their family and they'll respond to me. I'm like, big man, why are you responding?
You know, I think that being content becomes dangerous when the circumstances around you start changing and you're not evolving.
You're not adjusting.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then I think kind of, well, for me, I can only talk for myself, but I think success kind of overlaps with being content, because you're trying to get to a point where you're happy with your success. But I think if you're like, for example, like Leo said, if I hit a job and it's a $100,000 job, but then obviously your expectation of life, naturally you're going to, you know what I mean, you're in a different bracket now. You're going to start, whether you like it or not, you're going to start shopping and being different, like in it. Yeah, so then if that lifestyle starts not catching up with you, but then you think, okay, this might not be enough. If you stay there and try and keep that lifestyle, then you're wrong for being content, because you need to push up or change your lifestyle. But then them two not marrying up in the end is going to lead you to be like, shit.
1,000,000%.
But then could you argue that it's better to go for fulfillment than success?
I agree with that.
Because if you're fulfilled, that's another level of...
See, fulfillment would be success.
But if you don't know what will fulfill you, how would you know what to go for?
For me right now,
go for what you're good at.
Not that I'm asking, for me, but I'm just asking, like, how would one know what will fulfill them?
Go for what you enjoy. I think that, when they say a job isn't a job if you enjoy it or whatever, right? Yeah. If you're passionate about, I don't know, having a podcast, for example, we come and do a podcast. I don't feel like work, but if I put you now in an office in front of a computer or a laptop to send emails and whatnot, it's going to feel like job or work that you maybe don't enjoy, because you've tallied to that job earnings, and I must be in this building for 8 hours a day for me to make sure I get that salary at the end of the month. Because so you don't really enjoy it. You wouldn't think about the hours if you enjoyed it.
See, that's the same with me. So for me,
I was just gonna say about the restaurant.
Yeah, me chasing success for me in the long term is dangerous, because if I say, for example, that I don't get to a point where I feel successful, I get to a point where I feel like you thought this was it, this ain't it, go again, and then I know me chasing that in the end is like, I'm happy to work 7 days, 10 hours a day. Don't bother me, but it's not good for me, because then it's only going to be detrimental to my relationship, to my friendships and that. Do you know what I mean? And
how productive you are in those 10 hour days.
Then when I be mentioning in the group, I said, yo, lads, I'm at work, been working 6-7 days, like open till close, 10-11 hour days. Yeah. I don't mind doing it, but it does come at the detriment to that. I'm not messaging my missus as much as I'm not responding to things. I didn't even do Fun Fact Friday because it was at work all day. Do you get me? I missed the whole thing, but it's like, so it does, but then that's me being selfish and driving towards that goal where I can spread it. I should be able to spread it out and maybe think I can get fulfilled and not have to reach what I feel is success, because I'll never reach it.
I don't want to call it an obsession, but in that drive, is it then okay to be content? So take a step back and be like, do you know what? Let me not do all this. Let me be content where I am, but still try and move the margin.
So I'll need at some point in my life, and it'll probably be my missus, to turn around, slap me in my face and say, yo, chill. Yeah. Do you get me? Like, what else are you going to chill? Yeah. Just take some time out now. Let's build our family. Let's build our lives. Build our home. Otherwise, if you let me, I'm just tunnel vision. I'm just gonna keep going.
Yeah, man.
Keep going.
So let's kind of we kind of spoken personally about what we think, and that's what my question was in terms of definition. But to go for my initial question, who do we think sets the parameters? Not who should, but who does set the parameters for success? Is it the people who set the mortgages, the banks? Is it like the institutions at university? Like, who really does dictate what success is?
I think, like Jay said, I think it should be within yourself, but in reality it's not, because there's always external factors. And I think you should look at, I'd say, role models, but not not
Yeah,
people who not bad role models, but role models in like people you see, like for
You
example,
aspire to.
could be your parents, could be your boss at work, it could be, you know, people that you just look at and you think, you know what, like that's inspiring to me.
So when your mum and dad might say, some people might say, go to school, get a good, what is it? Go to school, get a good job, be successful.
Yeah,
That's like the kind of
the mantra for life. Yeah, that's one way.
So like, I don't know who taught them that, but maybe their teachers and their teachers and their teachers. So I'm just intrigued to figure out who is it that said that this thing, this picture over here is successful and this picture isn't.
Can I answer that?
Yeah, but
Can I answer that? I think social media right now.
That's a big.
Social right now. I think social media tells us what is success and what isn't.
Yeah. Before social media, what would you say?
Before social media, I think we define success for ourselves.
You reckon?
no, I'd say society would.
So would you say
I
if
think-
you had someone that had a nice car and someone that had a shit car, would you say someone who's got a shit car is successful? Just off of those two facts? Probably not, right?
I wouldn't even use that. You know me, whenever I talk about family history, all that sort of stuff. When our families first came to this country, success for our families was
simple. It was simple stuff.
Was education,
It was the simple stuff.
roof over our head, food, and putting
Income.
kids in the best position possible. For at that time,
Okay.
that was success for our grandparents.
What? So what you just said,
But that shouldn't be for us.
putting our kids
No.
in the best
Yeah.
position. So if we're trying to think of grandparents, what do we think that looks like for them, for us? So if they're saying, I want my kids or my grandkids to be in a good position, what is good?
I say this to a lot
Secure.
of people,
Is
especially
it just better than theirs, or is it?
I say this to a lot of people, especially in the Asian community. I always say to them, and this is no disrespect to anyone, but I always say, like, obviously it's known stereotypically Asians own corner shops, like, innit? It's just what it is, like, innit? But I always say, like, if our parents or grandparents are working 7 till 11 in corner shops, we shouldn't be doing that. We should now be thinking, how do we open 2 shops, or how do we become the cash and carry? Do you get me? We're just stuck doing this. If we just jump in the hamster wheel, it might be a great wheel, but we're not progressing anywhere.
Yeah.
We're just still stuck in that.
Let me ask
Do you
you
get
a
me?
question. What would you ask your kids in 20 years, right, or 30 years? One of your kids meets a person. What's the first thing you ask them about that person?
What they like? No. I probably like, are they good to you? Especially if it's a girl.
Okay, what about you?
Again, what's their ambitions with their life?
What about you?
Honestly, I reckon the first thing I'll say is what they do for a living.
Yeah.
That's just being honest as well.
You said what are they like? You said what are their ambitions
For their
for
life.
life, which is huge,
Yeah.
right? You said what do you do for yourself?
Why did we ask that question
So
as a parent?
So now let's revert back to our grandparents. What did they ask? Are any of your grandparents alive? By the way?
My parents said,
So, what did your gran ask you about your girl?
is she nice?
Okay.
Is she nice?
Okay.
Literally, there's no like financial or any of that. Mum, different conversation, but gran, is she nice?
What about your mum? What did your mum ask you?
My mum is more like my best friend sort of thing. So,
What was the question? Or what
I think
were the
where she-
questions?
I think the first question was where is she from?
Yeah. I was gonna say.
That was
And
the first question.
go on next.
Where is she from? What does she do?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah.
Literally, where's she from? What's she
More or
Wait.
less the same. More or less the same.
Now,
Yeah, no, I hear you. I see
now
where you're
you
going.
can see
I
where I'm
you're
going with this.
yeah.
The point is, our grandparents and our parents asked where are you from? What do you do? And this is for women.
Yeah.
We're all men, and apparently, the men are supposed to be the breadwinners,
Of course.
right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we've been taught?
Yeah.
We're the
Society-wise,
we're the
yeah.
providers, apparently.
Mm.
But now, our parents are asking, what does she do? What does she bring to the table? They're not asking.
And it's obvious why they're asking that question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I kind of go down that route is because it evolves as time goes on. So, parents wise is, do they have a job?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Do you have a job? Then it's success wise, what is it you are trying to achieve? That's what we're asking. Jay, you said, what's your ambitions for life?
For you.
You didn't say what do you do. You said what are your ambitions for life?
which is
that's huge.
heavy. Yeah, that's a heavy.
That's a big thing,
My
bro.
mum will drop that on me.
That's bad boys free.
But and for
You know them
real.
words.
But no, but so this is what I'm saying is the evolution and success is an evolution as generations go on, and that's exactly what my point is. So success for our grandparents will have been one thing. Success for our parents would have been something else. Success for us will be something else.
So how about?
Oh wait, off the back of that, to answer your
different.
question about who sets that level of success, I think the people around you
should set.
not should they do already
do, okay,
automatically.
They give you
Even though
perception of-
there's social media and whatever, but in reality, you're looking at what's around you.
So let me just
And then-
piggyback Leo's very effective route.
It was good.
So if it goes from like grandparents to Archie's nice to mum she's where's she from, but what does she do? What's our question now? Like obviously we can't now.
I say
yet,
this to people
We
still.
can't yet say it because it's not here. But if you have a daughter or son and they bring a partner, however old they are, what's the first thing you're asking?
I asked what my mum asked me, because in the barbershop when I'm there and I'm cutting like a young boy's hair and we're talking about girls, and then he will say, I got a girl. I'm asking her the same thing, like what's her ambitions? What does she do? I'm asking the same questions my
So
mum
you'd
asked
say-
me.
you'd say
yeah,
something.
currently, because it's not my kid.
Yeah.
But if I have kids, maybe it might be different.
I think
But currently, I'm asking the same questions.
it depends on age, but I think for me, I'd say why him or why her, depending on who I'm
Yeah.
speaking to. Like,
Cool, yeah, I've asked
Dad,
that as well, yeah,
I've got to
yeah.
find this girl, I've got a girlfriend. Why her?
What is it about her?
I want to know, because if everything you tell me is how she looks, then I know really where that's going.
Yeah.
But if the first thing he says is, like, I don't know, she's a sick drawer, she makes me laugh, then I'm like, oh, there's value in that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he's saying she's a sick drawer, that means that maybe she can use that talent to do X, Y, and Z.
Wait.
She's funny, it means that lifelong, they're going to get on. You get
All right,
it?
wait. Are you lot talking? Because you lot started talking about significant others and stuff. Are you lot saying that's contribution to your success, or
I'd say that.
Why did you factor that in?
I'd say that age-old saying when people say that behind every successful man is a strong woman.
I remixed
believe
that.
that strongly.
I remixed it.
Depending on what you prefer.
Next,
of course.
I said beside every
Yeah.
successful
You want a
man,
co-pilot, that's why.
possibly.
But it's true, innit? With
Yeah,
with
So
with
you
the
want a
right
backup dancer?
with the
Is that what
I
it
don't
is?
mind a backup dancer, bro.
Is it? Is that what you're after?
No, I'm joking.
with the right person beside you, you can go 10
I
times
agree.
further where you're going
Yeah.
myself.
Fair
I
play.
think
Nah,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that why you guys brought in significant others?
I think so. I guess to answer my own question, I feel like success can be directed by significant others, but I think it can only be dictated by yourself. So your mum, for example, could say, my mum was to work civil service for 30 plus years. That tells me consistent job. She had give you a bit of context. When I was my brother was born, there's 2.5 years between us. She started studying to be a nurse before she got pregnant with him. She turned pregnant and was like, okay, cool, I'm gonna put that on hold, have my baby, blah 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 blah, and go back to it. She couldn't do that because she had me 2.5 years later.
Yeah.
So fast forward now, she's gotten into civil service from when I was about 2 or something, and has been doing that to this day. So as a son looking at my mum, knowing the story, she sacrificed what she wanted, which to her was her success. I want to be a nurse or whatever medical profession she wanted to pursue. Now, I'm in a job that I now like because I've been in it for so long. And as sons and as our children, we can look at it and be like, wow, mum's been in the job for 30 plus years, you know? So without her having to kind of verbally say it, she's saying, this is what I want you to do because I did it. And you got a good life and whatever else. So naturally, it would make sense for me and my brother and my sister to be like, yeah, mum's been in the job for 30 plus years. Like, that's what we should be doing. Whether or not you would dictate that as success, but I would look at that as you're setting an example or a habit that I can aspire to because it's giving you X, Y, and Z life. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, 100%.
So as a close family member, she has laid a blueprint, I guess. It's just dependent on how I want to read it and if I want to use that going forward.
I think,
I'm going to touch on that real quick, and I'm only going to skip on it. The blueprint is only a blueprint for as long as you want to use it.
That's why I said it depends how you read it.
Yeah, 1,000,000%, and I completely agree with you on that. Our parents, our grandparents tell us what they think we should do.
What's good for us.
And what they think is good for us. But ultimately, if I'm honest,
Times change.
they only know what they know. And
based on what we tell them or whatever.
No, they only know what they know.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. They only know what they know.
Do you know what?
So in saying that, the reason why I brought up significant others is not necessarily because of the influence that they could potentially have on any one of our successes. I think it's more so the fact that it also impacts on the understanding of what success is. So our grandparents or parents asking what our significant others do is testament to what they understand as success
to be.
So if your parents say, okay, Jay, what does your girl do? And you say, she's a doctor. Your mum might say, my son is successful. If you say, my girl works in Sports Direct, she might say, and this is no disrespect to anybody that works in Sports Direct,
but it's just
it's perception. It's perception of success, and that's literally the only reason why I brought it in. And I wanted to take it away from any one of us and put it on somebody else because it's based on and the reason why I say that is because success is determined, as you said, determined by what generations before have told us they think success is. But then we have an opportunity to determine what we think success is for us.
I want to just ask a quick question to the panel, which is, if your parents are your role models and you aspire to be like them and whatnot, is it possible for them to take you further than they got to?
They take me, no, but guide me, yes.
Yeah.
So if they've gotten to, this is them, right? This is their pinnacle of their career or whatever you want to call it, and they've shown you and guided you to get to this point. How did they get you past that point and onwards?
I don't think they can.
They can't.
I agree.
I think they can instill in you like you are able to get past this, but I think that's in you to think.
So that leapfrog, where does that come from?
But
I think that's in you.
For me, when you get to that point, I feel for me like as much as my mum is my mum, she's also my counsellor, my consultant. Do you know what I'm saying? So even though we're not even in the same industries, but for me, to get beyond where I've gone, to get to where I want to get to and beyond wherever anyone else has got to, I can always come to her and say, listen, I'm going through this right now. What do you think? So that's how she helps me get beyond. Because she may not even need to have experience in that thing, but her wisdom from her life will still allow me to go beyond.
Do you have to agree with that wisdom though?
I don't have to agree with it, but I can hear it and interpret it. It's second opinion. And it's down for me to interpret it. But my point is that you can use their life knowledge and wisdom to help you in your situation to go beyond, in my opinion.
So you think, so in your scenario, your mum can take you to a certain point, business or whatever it is, and then you hit a block, I guess. And then you're like, mum, you know what, I'm hitting this block. And would you say she advises on that based on her experiences of something similar?
Again, it doesn't even have to be something similar. I can tell her something. All my brothers, any one of them, they will hear what I'm saying and then they will give me their response to it, which is all I need.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying? So in your scenario, I will come to her with whatever it is I'm going through. It's not her thing at all.
Yeah.
But I know I can come to her and say, this is what's going on.
How would you deal with it?
She wouldn't have never even experienced it, but she can take it in and give me her wisdom on that element. Then it's now down to me to decide what I do with that information.
Adapt it and bring it to your situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, if I'm at that point where now I'm moving beyond what she's accomplished, I'm still coming to her for counsel and as a consultant because I trust her wisdom and judgment to get me where I need to get to.
And touching on what Jay said, like in terms of stuff like success, I think when you go to school and that, all they teach you success is get a good job, pretty much. But I think from home you get taught that success is find someone you're happy with, fall in love, have a family, things like that. I think you taught them kind of attributes from home. So I think it's easy to become kind of career driven, because I think a lot of people, I'm not saying a lot, but probably a lot of people determine success in terms of money, like what you're earning. But I think that as you grow older, you realise that it's not.
Trust me. Again, sorry. Last one, real quickly, before you want to jump in. my example of that is I was super career driven, like for years. All I wanted to do was achieve, accomplish, and then obviously as parents we go, when you settling down, when you're getting a girl, I'm hearing it, and my answer was, okay, let me do this first, and then I'll do that. Let me make this first, let me launch this first. My mum dropped this one gem to me. She said, listen, life won't stop because you've now, because you're focused on this, all of life isn't going to pause. It's not going to stop for you.
No way.
I never got that message till years after she said it.
I'll use that as an example, right? So if we talk about kids, right, when you get to a certain age, for me anyway, I obviously want kids, want to be a dad or whatever. But it's like, I want to earn this much first. I want to get a nice car first. I want to buy a house first. I want to do all these things first. But it's like, well, when I've done those things, there'll be other things on my list I want to do before that thing, which means it will never happen. So like you said, life's not going to stop. Like me doing really well at my job or whatever means that when I hit that salary threshold, cool, now I can have kids and but now I can see that other promotion. Let me just work to that before and it's always going to keep moving. Do you know what I mean?
I do think as well, in terms of things like that, I think sometimes delving into the unknown without being prepared takes you to where you want to get to faster, because now you're like, yo, shit, I ain't got a choice. I've got to get there. You get me? Where's this? Instead of thinking like, oh shit, I need to reach here, but yo, I've got bare time. Then you go into the unknown, you're like, yo, shit, I ain't got that much time. I need to get there now.
That's it.
Do you get me?
But then that's why you've always said, I'd rather take a risk and learn.
Yeah, I'd rather take the L.
Rather than just like think about it.
I've learned way more from taking L's than I ever learned from a win. A win makes you complacent.
Bringing this back to the topic at hand, talking about success and all that sort of stuff. This very much reminds me of Rich Dad Poor Dad, and you. You mentioned it earlier, right? Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you ain't read it, make sure you read it. It's a life-changing book, and the essence of the book is basically this kid who is the author of the book, in essence, talks about him having two role models. One is his actual dad, one is the father of his mate. And long and short is his dad is, I think he's a teacher or something or other. And he goes down the route of the traditional path of what is understood success. You go to school, you go to uni, you get a decent job, you earn a good wage, and you get your pension, and you have children, and you do what the system advises.
The layer cake, yeah.
And he is, in the eyes of society, defined as successful, right? But then he meets his mate's dad.
Lemonade stand.
Yes. And his mate's dad doesn't have as much money as him, his actual dad, in the initial. And he teaches him a few lessons about what money is, what money means, how to accumulate it, how to view money. And in essence, what he shows is just because you don't necessarily have what society deems for the path that you should take to success, it doesn't mean you cannot be successful or aren't successful. And in essence, this guy, his friend's dad, achieves he creates a business, he creates generational wealth, and unfortunately what we're not taught in schools is that we can generate and accumulate wealth in a way that schools and institutions don't teach us. And that's essentially what the book talks about. It's the two concepts of going down the route of work hard, play hard. And one thing I watched on Breakfast Club not long ago. Was it Gilly the Kid and who's Wallow? It might not even have been them two, to be honest. I'm bugging, but long and short is there was two guys on Breakfast Club, and they were saying there's a lot of myths about success. And Charlemagne asked, "What's one of the biggest myths about success?" And this resonated proper, and it was, if you work hard, you'll get what you want. How many people do you know that work 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs and are broke as a motherfucker? That's just real.
What you're saying is true. There was that one. He's a football pundit. I don't know if it was Keegan or if it was Dalglish. One of them anyway. And they said, the saying practice makes perfect. But they said not if your practice is wrong. Then you ain't gonna get
bars. That's for real. So true. But the essence of that phrase is just because you work hard, it doesn't necessarily mean
shit.
you're gonna make it to where you want to make it.
You know what? Life's
It's-
not about. I
It's
learned
better
it
to
now.
work smart.
Yeah, it's not about working hard. It's about working smart.
And on top of that, again, just see when I said my mum said life won't stop. Yeah, I was too courageous. I was too caught up on the wealth generation and the income generation and assets and all that. I weren't thinking of relationship success. I weren't thinking of spiritual success. I weren't thinking of mental
That's
success.
what I said at the start.
I hear you. I know. So me and my brothers, for a while, every new year, we've got 7 categories of what we want to achieve that year: finance, relationship, health, spiritual, something, and something. I can't remember what it is. Yeah, and they're your goals for the year, broken down into different elements of life. And it took me that plus my mum to wake me up saying life ain't gonna stop for you. If you keep trying to focus on one success, there's 7 other things that you will neglect. So that woke me up to think of success as more than just financial gain.
But so thinking out the list, would you say at the end of 2021 you have to have touched on at least one of those things in order for your year to have been successful?
I wouldn't say I have to at least, if I've got 7 criteria and I've got a goal for each one of them, my job as me to achieve those goals is to try to tick those boxes.
I want to make it.
If I can get to the end of the year and achieve that, then I've had a successful year.
I want to make it super personal.
If you have
I don't have to achieve all of those things having a
progress
successful
towards
year.
it at least.
At least progress
leave
towards
the
it.
ambiguity. Leave the ambiguity.
Yeah.
What is a successful year for you? 2021. By the end of the year, what is success for you?
You asked me what I want.
End of 2021. What is success for Marlon?
The bottom line is I want to be healthy.
That's it.
For me,
Just
success,
one thing.
If I can get to the end of this year, like Jay was saying about some people go to bed and don't wake up, and I know that's a really mundane example and very basic answer to give you, but at the real crux of it, like I want to wake up 1st of January 2022 and be healthy. Like, yes, obviously, to attach to your question, like I'd like to be on a higher salary. I'd like to have owned a house. I'd like me and my missus to be in the conversations or in the plans of having a child. Like, that to me would be enough success for me to say I had a good year. But because of all the shit that's going on, I'd say, let me get back in the gym. Let me get back to what I was doing before.
Need the gym.
That's
April 12th,
for me.
Please hurry
For me,
up.
that's a level of success because I know where I used to be, and this is what we were saying on the other pod. I know where I used to be. I know I can get there again. It just takes work. So for me, at the end of the year, if I can be back to where I was, whether it's strength or endurance or whatever, that's one thing. Higher salary, because then affordability goes up, and conversations about other things, relationship-wise, is what I would probably pigeonhole as success for me.
Jay?
For this year.
Bruv, I'm a goal-driven person, so I don't want to even get too detailed into it.
So,
Get me? Overview, yeah. Increase the clients that I've signed for my company. Secondly, best fitness shape of my life. I've had a year off.
You were in shape, beginning of, just before lockdown, jeez.
Yeah,
you was
but
in shape.
I know, but I slipped a bit, so you know what I'm saying?
But we all have.
I know, but I'm talking like, if I hit my goals, man's talking Men's Health front cover. Get me?
Why not,
so
man? Why not?
I'm just saying, innit?
Make your own magazine. What do you mean?
Well, I see you.
Jay's health.
You see it there, bro? Get me? I broke up with my missus obviously just over a year ago, so now I'm in a space where I'm open to like properly settle down properly. So that's the goal for the year. Do you want a drink or something?
No one's there.
You got some water for the guy?
Invitation still.
Anyway, so
RSVP.
like,
got
I don't
COVID,
want to
boy.
list all my goals, but yeah,
Dry cough, bro.
those kind of elements.
A lot of
you see what I'm
personal
saying?
progression,
I've set
innit?
my
Yeah.
goals already, and already this is looking like a sick year for me already. So I'm
1K
high already
fucking,
in a
yeah.
day. Like
1K debt. Yeah.
Things like that.
I didn't want to draw nothing. There was
I hear
something on
that.
that.
I
But
hear that.
there was obviously you do trading.
Yeah, killing
and
it
all
right
them
now.
things there, and you coach people as well. And basically, long and short, for the people that don't know, Jay has been trading for a number of years, and he hit maybe a month ago, your first
£1K day,
£1,000 income day.
In a
Tangible
day.
income,
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
1K
yeah. I'm proud
in
of
his
that story.
account.
Yeah, that's a big achievement.
Straight there. That's huge.
Remember what I
From
said?
my head, just like from my
And
mind.
Friday, yesterday. What was it? If you remember.
So yeah.
Celebrate your wins.
And also for the ladies out there that obviously Jay's single. So for the ladies that remember, it only takes £274 daily to make in terms of sales to be a millionaire. So if Jay's making up 1k a day, Jesus Christ, just remember.
Easy.
Remember, so all you money digging, gold digging.
Easy.
Sonny, what
Back to the thing. Yeah, back to the
Sonny, what you saying?
Back to the. They're my goals for the year, and I'm en route.
I'd say definitely. It's kind of difficult because I would say the goal at the beginning would be to get married. Obviously, I'm going to get married this year, so I'd say definitely just year on year is always my first goal is to increase sales at work, at business. So.
Do you have any personal goal?
10
kg. Was it 10 kg?
Fitness, yeah. My goal this year is to lose 10 kg.
Where you at now?
I've lost 4.5. So I'm not too far. I've still got the rest of the year. Lockdown parties ain't helping.
Where you going after this?
Home. But I'd say my work goals, my business goals, always my business goals to increase sales. Like that's always going to be there. I think personally, it's just obviously I'm going to get married, so it's just just enjoy time. Like
man.
Have some late mornings, breakfast together, lunch together. You get me? Like it's just to enjoy some time a bit more because I've been focused so much on work, business, exactly. Pushing everything that I was going to take a bit of time now just to relax and enjoy my life. Enjoy what I work for a bit, like innit?
Fruits of your labour.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be nice enjoying it with someone to share it with.
Yeah, facts. Leo, talk to us.
Success for me is
this year.
Continue the success of my relationship. We're embarking on some new journeys together, so I just hope they go the way we plan. And
they will. Yeah, it's not even a hope thing.
Yeah, but we don't know what the future holds. Regardless, my anticipation is success. Of course. That's all I look at. Yeah. So, maybe that is me being. It might be a willful ignorance, but the way exactly. But the way I plan things is I plan things for success. I don't plan to fail. Of course. Yeah. So successful relationship. I plan to continue to develop career-wise. I don't think I mentioned to you guys, but I'm looking to start my my property business this year as well. Yeah, for real. So that's a
cheers.
Yeah, for real,
that's a real thing for real. But I'm looking in the next 3 months. I'm looking to have launched an LTD company. Cole,
shout me for marketing.
No. But obviously, people that didn't know my last name, I shouldn't really voice that. But still,
and dropping governments.
You know what I'm saying? But business, family, relationship, and health, like you said, health.
All right, so boom. In conclusion, I feel for the people listening, watching, and taking this in, set your own level and standard of success.
Yeah, don't let anyone else dictate your success.
For real. Because it's unnecessary pressure. Yeah, it's your life, end of the day. Set your own goals, set your own standard and level of success. If you didn't hit it, don't worry, learn from it and go again.
Embrace it, man. Just embrace it. Like take it. It's only a loss if you don't learn nothing from it.
That's my
thing.
That
L means
no
learn.
Losses.
It's only a loss if you haven't learned shit.
Exactly.
Set your own goals, big or small, go for it. You'll be successful one way or another.
Comment, subscribe, tell your grand,